The first thing we got to get Colin to do is cut his hair. You know, I mean, listen, I'm not up here to try to be politically correct, but, you know, even if he puts cornrows in it, I don't think he should represent himself, you know, in that way in terms of, you know, just the hairstyle. Just go clean cut. You know, why not? You know, you're already dealing with a lot of controversy surrounding this issue.
This morning, Vick clarified his statement with this tweet. Colin Kaepernick's hair has nothing to do with him not being on an NFL roster right now. Let's be clear. I wish only the best for Colin. I stand by what I've said about him being signed at some point this season to help an NFL club. I think he is a great kid who has a bright future, and I'm looking forward to seeing him on the field again. Trust and believe what I said was not in malice. Joined by Rob Parker. Welcome, Rob.
What's happening? Good morning, everybody.
Shannon, let me start with you. Does Vick have a point?
No, he doesn't have a point. And what Michael Vick just did was continually perpetuate a stereotype that blacks that look a certain way, dressed a certain way, should be judged a certain way. What does Colin Kaepernick's hair have to do with anything? He need to reform his image from what? Some of the media, and even Michael Vick, has convinced himself that what Colin Kaepernick did by taking a knee was equal to, if not worse, than what Michael Vick went to prison for. Michael, you went to prison. You are a convicted felon. You needed to change your image. Colin Kaepernick took a knee. He took a knee in protest of black and brown unarmed men and women being killed at a disproportionate high rate compared to the percentage in which they represent in America. And the officers that were doing this killing, they were being held unaccountable for their actions. Mm-hmm. He took a knee. The very country that Colin Kaepernick took a knee in was founded on protest. We keep talking about he was disrespectful of the flag. We have yet to address the issue, what he was trying to bring attention to. Larry Fitzgerald, he has dreads. Does he need to change his image? Kawhi Leonard, on your favorite team, Skip, he has cornrows. Does he need to change his image? No, he does not. Stop perpetuating this stereotype, Michael Vick. My grandmother used to say, boy, sometime when people get to where they're going, they'll forget where they came from. Michael Vick, you were a convicted felon. Someone gave you a second chance. And you saying that Colin Kaepernick needs to cut his hair to change his appearance, to change the narrative around him. From what? He's never been arrested. He committed no crime. He killed no one. He abused no one. What is the image that he needs to portray? I don't get it. From Michael Vick, you would think, Skip, of all the guys that would understand this man's plight. Michael Vick went to prison for 18 months. He missed 2 years in the NFL. Michael Vick didn't have to tell anybody that he wanted to play again. And it just so happens there's more coincidence than what we really thought. Because guess how old Michael Vick was when he signed with the Philadelphia Eagles? 29. The very age that Colin Kaepernick, and I have something, I'm going to let you go, Rob. Michael Vick in 2006, his last year with the Atlanta Falcons, he had 20 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Colin Kaepernick in 2016 had 16 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So you tell me, but all Michael Vick did was perpetuate a stereotype and a myth that blacks need to look a certain way in order to be perceived a certain way. So should I assume that every white bald man is a skinhead? If you are to assume that every black with cornrows and have on jeans is a thug? Is that what we're doing now? I'm gonna judge you by your actions. The man took a knee. He should be praised. I'm gonna turn it over. Skip, I wanna say this. Skip, you know who Sandy Koufax was. Did you cover him, Skip?
Yeah, well, no, he's way before my time, but I know who
Skip,
he was, obviously.
in game 1 of the World Series, what did Sandy Koufax do?
He didn't play.
Because the day fell on Yom Kippur, which is a sacred Jewish holiday. Mm-hmm.
Nobody drummed him out of baseball.
Nobody said a word. And I don't like to get in ideology, Skip, and you know, we joke a lot with King James, but in the Jewish community, he's a god. He's mythical, Skip, because of what he did. Now, outside, they might view him differently. How could you miss a game of so importance? Blah, blah, blah. But no, Colin Kaepernick took a knee.
They did win that World Series. So
Yeah.
Well, that helped, right. But still,
I know,
your
I
point
got
is
you.
well taken.
Yeah.
And for me, I almost fell off my chair. I have the same thought that you had. I said, say it isn't so that Mike Vick is a company man. He's here wanting to pacify the man. This is where we are now. That this is like a show. It's not whether or not he hasn't done anything wrong. It's about a hairstyle and about cutting your hair. You mentioned some other people with what they should do. Bryce Harper has long flowing hair. Should he cut his hair? Or Jacob deGrom from the Mets, should he cut his hair that's flying all over the place? This is so silly, and I can't believe Michael Vick went there. I know he's trying to backtrack today.
Well, he's not
right?
trying. He did.
Right.
He backtracked.
Because
Colin Kaepernick's hair has nothing to do with him not being on an NFL
That is
roster.
what you said yesterday.
Right,
I got it.
but that's what he's saying now because so many people have come down on him, and rightfully so. This is what's wrong, is that it's always about the superficial, the stuff that doesn't matter. You're right. No one's ever really addressed what he was talking about. It's still out there, and that's what people miss. And now they want to punish him because he used his right as an American citizen to protest and to bring to
attention.
light what was going on in this country and what is going on in this country. So I was disappointed to just see Michael Vick go there. I'm with you. I'm disgusted. I'm glad he issued a statement, but is that really where we are, Skip?
Unfortunately, that's where we are. So, we're going to be real today?
Absolutely.
We always real?
100.
Okay. This is where it might help that I am a white guy, because I think I have a different perspective than either of you two, or maybe Joy, would have at this moment. Again, I have said from the start, I told you yesterday when we spoke, Colin Kaepernick is better than, I'm going to say 6 or 8. I think I could go 8 deep of starting quarterbacks in this league. And you know that all fall, all I told you was Colin Kaepernick, because of his courage for what he's saying and his ability to speak it so profoundly and clearly, was having profound national impact on an issue that tears my guts out, which is obviously white policemen shooting unarmed black men, women, whoever, or you said brown also,
Yes.
of color. And I so admire what he has done, but he's on his quote-unquote last legs in this league right now. When Pete Carroll said no to Colin Kaepernick, as you know, because that shocked me, because I thought that was the perfect fit, because that locker room wanted Colin Kaepernick, I'm thinking, uh-oh, now he's on the clock, because I'm not sure he's going to get a job in this league. And I assume he really does want a job in this league, right? Because
Yes.
you've been in touch with him,
have.
right? So this is what I do know that maybe you guys don't have the best feel for. My whole career, I've covered these guys who run these teams in the National Football League, these owners, these GMs, old school white guys.
Yes.
And about half of them have called me a communist, you know, like I'm the odd man out, seriously, because they don't like me. But I do know them because I spent a whole lot of time around these guys since I started covering the NFL back in the 1970s. And I think Michael Vick had some point yesterday, because it's again, you're right about what you're saying, but you don't run the football team, right? You're very right about what you're saying, but you don't run an NFL team. You're not a GM or an owner, right? But they're going to look at Colin and they're going to wonder, where's his commitment? And we had Chris Carter sit right here and say, he just hasn't played well enough. Because let's just say, if Colin Kaepernick had taken the 49ers last year to the NFC Championship game, he could have a gigantic afro and nobody would care, because they would line up to sign him, because all they care about is winning the next year's championship.